Welcome to the Path to Victory Fantasy Football Podcast. Nick, last week we promised a big announcement, and we're here to deliver. After 3 years, we're no longer associated with that piss Mountain Dew Baja Blast or that
Yeah,
asshole Bubby Brister. It's time for us to forge a new path, a path to victory, if you will.
yes, it's time for us to go solo, and we're going to carry on. We'll no longer be, hey, Bubby's not here, so I'll be here permanently as a host with Billy here on this Path to Victory podcast.
The new name and logo leaked on Christmas Day. Path to Victory emerged as a phrase we would use frequently while breaking down the box scores. I looked up the definition of the phrase. I got one back I liked. Tell me what you think. It's, quote, the ability to see the series of steps required to achieve what's possible in one's desired outcome.
That's about that's definitely explains fantasy football.
I like our new logo where it's two 8-bit football players looking at a crystal ball in an 8-bit stadium with a castle looming in the background.
Yeah, it's really nice. I like it. It's a little throwback. We used to play those games, so it's nice.
We definitely paid an artist to do that and didn't use Brindle's Chat GPT. Yeah, my desired outcome from doing this podcast is to spend an hour a week hanging out with a friend and talking about something we both love and hoping we can add a fun element to our fantasy league. I don't think there's too many leagues out there with a podcast dedicated to their own league.
Yeah, I don't think there's too many of those. Yeah, what I did find out, there's a lot of leagues out there that have like penalties for losing, though. A lot of fancy penalties. Like that's a very popular thing.
I don't like that. Do you? Someone asked me if we do that, and I was like, that's not something I'm interested in.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No, because now it's like people getting tattoos or like uploading like shameful videos. Like it's all for clicks and everything else. People are trying to do for clout. I'm good.
The humiliation stuff. The one I did see that was kind of funny was the IHOP thing where you spend 24 hours in a Waffle House and you could shave an hour off for every waffle you eat. That's kind of funny, but you know what would happen is one year like Jones would lose. He'd be like, yeah, I'm not doing that. And then he just
Yeah, yeah. And all of a sudden, or somebody would lie and be like, "Yeah, I did it already. I did it." I'm like, "Where's the proof?" Like, "I did it." And it's like, you know, what I mean, there's an integrity issue there that might be there. I'm not saying the people we play fantasy football with are liars, but I'm just saying that it would be, I don't know, it'd be tough. It'd be tough. I'd rather for like ESPN to come up with something to say like this person was last place and you get like something next to your name for the rest of the year. Like, hey, this is you're in last place. You get like this like a crappy like broken award next to your name or something. The ESPN would do that. They do that for like if you're the champion last year, you have a crown next to your name. So I mean, why not? Give me something like that.
yeah, Brindle had that crown next to his team name. Yeah, a poop emoji next to the last place team. That's perfect.
Yeah, you know, what I mean, you were last place last year, so it make it speak to like, oh, he's first place. He's like poop emoji. He's like, you was worse. Now you're the first, and it shows your growth and how you did better this year.
Yeah, because like you said, most of those are for internet clicks, and we're all in our 40s and 50s. I don't think any of us are on TikTok or anything like that.
No, I don't do TikTok at all. But I would say I do this podcast. I do like spending an hour talking football, but then yeah, I like talking football in general, really. And I think it'd be kind of cool if other people just kind of cling on and hear our podcast about our small little community of our league that we've been running for almost 20 years.
We had loosely discussed doing a podcast like over 10 years ago, but we never really like talked about what one could look like or even had an idea. We just said, if I ever did a podcast, you're a person who I could see doing that with. And I'm thankful that you were down with this idea when I threw it out to you, because doing a podcast with a target audience of only 14 people is a special kind of cool, and it's kind of punk rock in a lot of ways.
Yeah, yes, very much so. Because you're just doing it for the people that, that know about it for real. But then if other people outside, because it's available on Spotify and Apple Music and on YouTube as well. And if you listen to it, you might pick up on some like tidbits and everything else. Because I don't think we're boring. It's quite interesting. I listen to this podcast.
Whenever I listen back, I'm like, I would listen to this if I had nothing to do with it. Yeah, I like us. Yeah, I'm already looking forward to August. I'm a little bummed out. This is our season finale.
Yeah, yeah. Season finale, one game and only one game that we're going to review this week. Even though there's a lot of exciting fantasy stuff happening throughout the week, the year, I do want to ask us after we review the game, who is your fantasy disappointing person player of this year? Think of one player, not injury, just that person got drafted and did not pan out, not for your team, just in general. You think of one person, I'll think a person will present that.
Yeah, yeah, keep those questions in mind. There's a lot to talk about, even though we're only doing one game today. And we got our big announcement out of the way. Let's get down to business. This is our championship matchup between Slade's New Day Co op and Brandon's Mile High Salute. If I remember correctly, Slade took over a vacant franchise in 2015. According to the league history, this will be that franchise's fifth top three finish and 8 playoff appearances and no prior championships. This is Brandon's ninth playoff appearance. He won one championship way back in 2012. That was against me. We actually played each other in back-to-back years. I beat him in 2013 then. He is 1-2 all time in championships coming into this game.
New Day got in the playoffs at 7-7. It wasn't pretty. There were some dark days. New Day Co-op won the games they need to do, and the team played the game like they should have. New Day Co-op. He last week when we decided on who was going to win this game, we chose Maha, didn't we?
Yeah, we both picked Brandon. The website agreed with us. They had him projected to win 140 to 132, and before we get to the box score, we did get some pregame roster moves. Brandon felt like he needed a tight end. He tried to claim Taysom Hill, but Smash Hawk beat him to it. Taysom Hill recently became the first player in the Super Bowl era to earn over 1,000 yards passing, rushing, and receiving. But Will actually did Brandon a favor here because Taysom Hill got a 0.
Oh, 0. Yep.
And Keyshawn Booty was dropped in favor of James Cook's handcuffed Ty Johnson. And then Slade dropped your guy, Sean Tucker, and he wisely added Parker Washington, who was slotted into his flex spot. And he was coming off a big week 16 with 25 points, 145 yards, and a touchdown against Denver. And that also gave him a Trevor Lawrence to Parker Washington
Combo. Yep, sure did. Nice little combo. P. Washington came alive late in the season. He's been kind of around for the team a little bit, but then right after the bye week, he kind of exploded. Somebody had to step up for that wide receiver room after Travis Hunter went down, and the guy I had last year, I forgot his name because he just hasn't done anything this year. Um,
Oh, Brian Thomas.
yeah, Brian Thomas has been the sophomore slump is way off the table to share for him. Just really bad injuries and then drops, lots of drops. It just hasn't worked out for him. So Washington's been the person that's really picked up the slack there. Him and Myers on the trade.
Yeah, Jacoby Myers probably had something to do with unlocking Parker Washington late in the season here. And Brian Thomas, you can keep him in mind for the disappointment conversation.
Right.
But yeah, let's let the cat out of the bag here. Slade won. Congratulations. This was a blowout. 148 to 108.
So we'll start with Maha here. He scored 108. It's just he had Burrow showed up, had played a very great game against Arizona. Arizona's just a team floundering. Um, Cook 16 points hasn't been the Cook we've seen the last couple of weeks, but 16 points still respectable. Just not the back 30 points that got him here. Um, so that does not help his chances at all there. Harvey, who's been coming on late, had 22 points. He had a receiving touchdown. He was wide open in his zone. But T. Higgins and Cortland Sutton very womp womp. Cortland Sutton dropped a touchdown. He had a touchdown and dropped it.
Yeah, Harvey didn't get going until late either. And this was the Thursday night game, right?
Yes.
So Harvey and Sutton were set up for disaster. It was a short week, a divisional opponent on the road. Harvey scored a touchdown with just a minute 45 left in the fourth for his fifth straight game with a touchdown. He's also scored in 7 to 9 games. James Cook had that low scoring game against Philly. He didn't get in the end zone for the first time in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Burrow was coming off the AFC Player of the Week award, but he got a touchdown from AJ Barner from Seattle. He had a decent game despite Darnold only throwing for 147 yards.
Right. So he got a good 40% of that throwing percentage, which is, good for him. He had the Bills head coach with a loss as well, unfortunately. Bills almost came back. I think they shouldn't have went for a pass. He just threw that ball too far left. It was crazy. I thought the Bills had that game in the bag, but hey.
Nothing else really here. The kicker and defense combined for 10, but that was wiped out by the Bills head coach for a 0 overall from the fantasy special teams. Barkley got 12. That's fine, but not what you want from your second overall pick in the championship game.
Yeah. He regressed down to the flex spot. So that tells you something about where he sits on that team.
This is all about Slade here. Trevor Lawrence, he's been riding that train the last couple weeks. The fantasy world is going to have to reckon with Trevor Lawrence in drafts next year. Like, is he the guy we've seen for the past 5 years, or is he the guy we've seen since week 12 of this year? Like, what's
It's
happening?
it's gonna be a boom or bust situation because you're gonna have to think that either somebody's gonna draft him high, expecting what they saw last year, and then they're gonna be disappointed, or you'll draft him high and be rewarded for drafting him high. I mean, it's just what it is. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Me personally, I probably won't draft him. He'd be my QB2.
Yeah, he scored a rushing touchdown. Parker Washington almost scored here. He got it all the way down to like the 5. Then Lawrence vultured the touchdown. And this was the same time on my split screen that AJ Barner was getting tackled around the 5. And this game was still close then. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence might be being unlocked though by their head coach Liam Cohen, who's a former Bucs offensive coordinator. And the
Yes.
Panthers have exceeded all expectations this year too, with Dave Canales, another former Bucs offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have either one of them as the head coach or Todd Bowles?
Um, I don't know. That's an interesting question because I think that Carolina is kind of doing what they do, and it's not fascinating what they're doing. And then the Jaguars, they've been kind of lucky because I think their T Law is running a lot. Like he's never ran this much before. Like he has a lot of rushing touchdowns this year. So I think a lot of that scoring is that, and I don't know if I want either one of them as a head coach over Todd Bowles, but then I know I don't want Todd Bowles next year.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't want Todd Bowles, but I don't want those guys either. Like especially Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen, how he did Tampa this past offseason, I really don't want it.
CD Lamb, he led the Cowboys with 5 catches as Dak completed passes to 8 different receivers, but
It
that was for less than 10 yards per catch. Dak on his bench here, he lost his starting job to Trevor Lawrence. Not really Dak's fault. Lawrence has just been unreal in these fantasy playoffs. But Dak threw his 4,716th career pass attempt. That breaks Troy Aikman's record for the most pass attempts in Cowboys history.
I believe it. Dak throws the ball a lot. He throws the ball a lot.
If you had a gun to my head and asked me who threw more passes, Romo or Aikman, I probably would have said Romo.
Yeah, I probably said Romo too. But that tells you like Aikman's career was longer than Romo's. So that's interesting.
My championship game MVP is easily Chase Brown here with 101 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Easy right there. Chase Brown, remember at the beginning of the season, it wasn't good. It wasn't feeling good. Then they have their bye week, and it's been 20 points or better every single week. He has been absolutely a beast. That 8th rank as running back is a fraudulent number to me because he's 8th ranked because he doesn't get the end zone a lot. But the last 2 weeks, he's been in zone a lot. He's had 5 touchdowns the last 2 weeks. So the Bengals have been found a way to use him as a primary piece for the future for them.
I'm going to go ahead and say he's my season league MVP as well. The Slade's team here doesn't have a guy who carried his team every week. He just had a bunch of like steady guys with good floors here between Lawrence and Dak, and then Brown, Kyron Williams. That's a killer combo.
So Kyron Williams is mine because I've always said every single week, I'm going to say it one more time, just consistent, man. He pulls out, it looks ugly at first. I remember watching that game last night. Kyron Williams at halftime, he barely had like 30 yards rushing. He ends the game with 92 yards rushing on 13 carries. Like he's getting less than 15 carries a game, and he's either finding the end zone or he's getting a good amount of stats. He's hitting 21, 27, 20. Like these running back totals for him are just been very steady. If you have a running back that gives you 20 points every week, you're happy with this.
He basically got 2 first-round picks in the second and third rounds. Brown at 23 and Williams at 34. And then CeeDee Lamb, like, he wasn't great this year, but he never bottomed out other than that 4 weeks he was injured. He was still a guy you wanted in your lineup every week. So then he took Zay Flowers in the 4th round, who has been pretty good. He scored a touchdown this week, 13 points. He finishes as the 12th ranked receiver. He didn't blow a draft pick until Kyler Murray in round 5, but then he had Dak insurance, so it didn't even really hurt him.
Right. Zay Flowers has been actually sneaky good because I wouldn't have thought he actually hit 1,000 yards receiving this year, but he did.
Yeah, I mean, you know things are going well when Dak is the 4th ranked quarterback and you didn't even start him in your championship game.
Yeah, definitely something going on there. Kyle Pitts Sr., 2 catches for 16 yards. That's the Kyle Pitts Sr. we know and love. I saw a thing where this person said on Twitter that Kyle Pitts Sr. is closer to Cade Otton, who's ranked 28 at tight end, than to Trey McBride at rank 1. And that says a lot about how good Trey McBride is compared to like Kyle Pitts Sr. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, Pitts came through when he needed to in that opening playoff game and then was decent
The next game after, right?
in that game where he needed every single point because of that tie. And then, yeah, this week he sucked, but he was able to be hidden by Chase Brown and Kyron Williams and Parker Washington. I mean, 8 catches, 115. We said that flex spot was his herpes with Keaton Mitchell in it, and he filled that. He got a cure for herpes.
Yeah, and he would have been fine even if he started Burden because he had Burden on his team last week as well, and Burden had 8 for 138 and a touchdown. So Burden went off.
Yeah, he's somebody to look for next year.
Burden's definitely a guy to look for next year because him and Caleb, I would draft Burden over DJ Moore next year.
It looks like Slade killed him on the bench points. What is that? 14, 24, 31, 81.
Sounds like somebody's listening to the podcast.
Yeah, he had over 80 bench points where Brandon had about 40.
Like somebody listens to the podcast. So as you look at this bench, there's no zeros.
Yeah, stack that bench.
Just stack the bench up, He even had Niners head coach on the bench there just in case.
Yeah, he made that move late. Let me see when he made that roster move. Yeah, he made that move Sunday at 3:57, dropping Trey Tucker for the 49ers head coach. So Trey Tucker doesn't get a ring.
Yeah, he don't get that. Sorry.
But yeah, congrats to Slade on the title. First one in his time in the league. Brandon falls to a LeBron like 1-3 in title games. That's not good. But this wasn't an easy season for Slade. I went back and looked at it. Like Lionheart and Jordan were kind of charmed in the regular season, finishing 11-3 and not really having to sweat about a playoff spot, since like Halloween. Slade started 2-0, and then he lost 4 in a row in 6 of 7. He was 3-6 going into week 10.
Right. Like I said, he barely got in. He fought his way in there. You know what I mean? And they had people like Mark Jones. His team fell apart late. His team was ahead of the game, and then went on a 4-game losing streak, and that was just the end of the game for him.
Get to the payouts now. Yeah, I did some math, and Slade won 1.5 weeks, with a weekly high points. You get $40 for winning the week. He tied Jordan in week 16, and he won week 1. And with his championship, he won a cool $460.
Okay.
Spawn won 2 weeks in week 2 and week 8, and he won the season high points. That is $180.
Okay.
Heater won week 3. That is $40. Brindle won 3 weeks. That is $120. Those were weeks 4, 7, and 9. Freeman won week 5, $40. Hine won a week and a half. He tied Art in week 12, and he won week 10. That is $60. Kendrick, I think he had to have set an all-time record here for most points, most high week points. So he finished in 3rd place, and he won 5 single weeks.
Jesus. Okay.
He won week 6, week 11, week 13, week 15, and week 17. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That is $250 in his pocket. Brandon, runner up and 1 single week in week 14. That was $190. Jordan won that split week for $20. Art won a split week, and then he won $20 also for the points against. So that is $40 for Art. I won nothing. You won nothing. Jones won nothing. Anyone else win nothing?
I mean, I don't know, man. It's a tough time. Tough time.
DeMoss won nothing. So 4 of us go home empty-handed.
The fantasy mistress is a fickle beast.
What other business? I guess that's really it. Like, one game, we did our big announcement. I did some research on our Hall of Fame. So it's been cool watching our Hall of Fame grow. It's an institution now of 48 members. Like, it's gotten so big that I have to check to make sure we didn't already put someone in whenever I think of someone to induct.
Yeah, because you have to really search for that person to see if, like, is this person in here or not? Like, it's like we're gonna have to probably next year really either dig deep or actually induct now players that have been in the league. NFL has been for 6 seasons, and say like, all right, after 6 seasons, you're qualified.
No, my guy I'm putting in today is going to show you that we've left some holes. There's some holes that need to be filled. Remember, I went on my Make It Right tour. There's still guys out there. But before we do that, we'll recap the class of 2025. In week 1, I nominated Tom Brady. You followed with Curtis Martin. I then gave it to the late Rudy Johnson. You put Terrell Pryor in. We're not going to tell anybody that was supposed to be Josh Gordon. We're just going to let Terrell have his place.
Fair enough.
Marshall Falk, Terrell Davis, the late Muscle Hamster, the shitty Tiki Barber. Did Andre Johnson ever have a nickname?
No. He's
AJ,
Andre
maybe?
Johnson. Yeah, he's just Andre Johnson.
Ricky Williams, Edrin James, Tim Brown, Jimmy Graham, Hines Ward, Tony Romo, Mark Brunell, and then I just spoiled my guy I'm putting in this week. I'm putting in LaDainian Tomlinson.
LaDainian Tomlinson's not in our Hall of Fame. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is a
that's crazy.
That is a glaring hole. He might be the greatest fantasy player of all time. He's on the short list. Maybe he was too obvious. I don't know. He joins Phillip Rivers as the only Charger in our fantasy Hall of Fame. Let me get the numbers here for us. Remember, he was supposed to be Michael Vick. The Chargers were supposed to take Michael Vick, and they traded that number 1 overall pick to Atlanta for the right to take Vick, and Tomlinson and what ended up being Drew Brees went back to San Diego.
Right.
But yeah, Tomlinson, 5'10", 215, out of the Texas Christian University.
Yeah, he went to that weird school.
Yeah, what are they? The Green Frogs or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah, they're something weird.
2001 5th overall pick. 2001 to 2009 with the Chargers, spent 2 years with the Jets at the end of his career. He is now a special assistant with the Los Angeles Chargers. 2006 NFL MVP, Offensive Player of the Year that same year. Also the Walter Payton Man of the Year in 2006, a 3-time All-Pro. a second team, a two-time second team All-Pro, a five-time Pro Bowler, the Bart Starr Award, the Burt Bell Award, a two-time NFL rushing yards leader in 2006, 2007, an NFL rushing touchdown leader in 04, 06, 07. Those were those years where if you drafted Tomlinson, you were pretty much guaranteed a spot in your league's championship.
Yeah, he's giving you 15 touchdowns easy.
He was a member of the 2000s All-Decade team, All-Rookie team in 01, Chargers Hall of Famers. Number 21 is retired. In college, he won the Doak Walker Award, the Jim Brown Award. He was a unanimous All-American in 2000, a second team All-American in 99. He's also a NCAA rushing yards leader in 99 and 2000. He was the WAC Offensive Player of the Year. Oh, yeah, they are the Horned Frogs.
I
His
think
number 5 is
the really interesting part is that you said he was a five-time Pro Bowler. You know, what I mean, you think he'd be in a Pro Bowl more than 5 times.
Yeah, he has the NFL most rushing touchdowns in a single season with 28. That was
Yeah,
2006. Most touchdowns from scrimmage in a season. Most consecutive games with a touchdown at 18.
yeah,
Uh,
He beat Sean Alexander. Sean Alexander had 22, and then he beat him.
Priest Holmes was there too.
Yeah, Priest. I think Priest had 20. Sean beat him, and then Sean beat him the year that Seattle won the Super Bowl. That's the year Sean Alexander had 22 touchdowns, and then after that, the Chargers had that year where they were really good, and this was beat the Patriots, and then they like LT. He like hey had cramps, and Sean Merriman like was terrible, and they were like the Patriots were like shit on him the entire time. It was a
I
bad time.
think that was the game Rivers like tore his ACL also in the championship game and finished the game. That guy is
Yeah,
Philip Rivers is cool.
Phil Rivers, man. Yeah, and it's like he like after his game, he was like tearing up at the press conference saying, "I'm not coming back again." You know, you could tell he threw an interception. He had no zip on the ball. Like
Yeah.
it's what it is, dude. He's almost 50, man. What do you want him to do? Okay,
He didn't embarrass himself at all.
he did at all, not at all. Like there was lots of pride out there. You know, hell, Tom Brady was saying that I could fucking still play. Let me play. I'm like, calm down, Tom. Calm down.
Yeah, calm down. Hey, you
Calm
know
down,
what,
bud.
If you want to come back and play for the Raiders next year, I'll watch that,
Yeah, I'll
and
watch
I
this
will laugh.
abortion. It'd be a bad time. It'd be terrible.
Tomlinson's numbers, real quick: 3,174 rushing attempts, 13,684 rushing yards, 145 rushing touchdowns. He caught another 624 balls for 4,772 receiving yards. Only 17 receiving touchdowns. You probably would have guessed that would have been more,
A
but
little more,
yeah,
yeah, but I mean, Antonio Gates is probably taking a lot of those because he did play with Antonio Gates too, Vincent Jackson. So there was Philip Rivers throwing the ball around the yard.
that's true. Yeah, congrats to Tomlinson on the induction. I don't know how we missed you. Apologies for
Yeah,
that.
apologies, man, because I know Randy Moss is in and Terrell Owens is in, but like you should have been in, so I'm really sorry.
And then Tomlinson's induction as a Charger. The Chargers join these teams with multiple members of our Fantasy Hall of Fame. So the Chargers have 2. The Saints have 4.
Okay,
Tampa has 3.
okay,
Tennessee has 3.
okay.
Atlanta has 3.
Hmm. Okay.
The Colts have 3.
Yep.
The Chiefs have 2.
Okay.
Dallas has 2.
All right.
The Rams have 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcons and Steelers and Patriots and Bengals all have 2. Then there's 19 teams that have 1. So by my math, and I double check this to make sure I'm right, there's 1 team without a representative in our Fantasy Football Hall of Fame. Can you name them?
The team without a representation in our, it would have to be.
I'll give you a hint. You named the one guy who probably should be in there less than 2 minutes ago.
Oh no. It's not. We've named a Minnesota Viking player. We've done Minnesota. Detroit Lions is already in there. The Niners,
No, they have, I think it's Frank Gore.
Frank Gore. Okay. The Rams have somebody. Seattle doesn't have anybody.
Ding, 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 ding. You got
Yeah,
it. That's pretty
yeah.
good. Yeah, you just named
Sean
Sean
Alexander, right,
Alexander. Yeah, yeah.
right. And
So
Sean Alexander, he'll probably come in next year. You know what
that's
I
what
mean?
I mean. There's guys we're missing. We just need to find them.
Yeah, Sean Alexander will probably be in next year then. Um,
And let's throw this
yeah,
out to the listeners. If there's any listeners next year and you want to nominate someone or induct them, like we'll do it for you, or you can come
yeah,
on and do it.
yeah. We'll let you know. Yeah, man. We'll have you come on. We'll give you a shout out. We'll like this person nominate this person. It'll be fun. Yeah. Just think about a football player. They have to have one good season. All needs one good season for real. If there's a past player, I mean, have a good season, a really good season. Think Peyton Hillis, good. Um, Something like that.
But you can't have a guy who had like great expectations who routinely fell short. Like Braylon Edwards. Like
Right.
he's not a fantasy Hall of
No,
Famer.
he's
I'm
not.
sure he was overdrafted, every year for about 4 years. Like your draft stock matters. Like Peyton Hillis went undrafted in every league that year. So he
You're right.
won guys championships that year
Absolutely won
because
championships. Yeah, he had 1,000 yards. He had like 11 touchdowns that year. Like it was, he came out of nowhere. He was running
we're
rampant on people.
where like a guy like Braylon Edwards was sinking your team every year because you
Right. You're
probably
like
drafted him as a
you started him because you're like, I need him to give me 1,000 yards. He won't. You know, he'll give you 700 yards instead and give you 8 touchdowns. You're like, dude, I'm upset. Um, so here's the question I ask you. So name me. All right, I want you to name me two players. All right, one player that people didn't draft high this year, that people will start drafting high next year, and one player that next year people drafted high, but next year they will not draft high.
Okay, let me look at the draft recap next year. I think for this year, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be drafted as like a top 7 quarterback next year. We already mentioned Luther Burden. He's going to be someone who shoots up draft boards next year. Um, hmm. Ashton Gianti could take a tumble next year. He was drafted 8th overall.
Ashton Gianti. Fair enough.
Nico Collins. He should fall down boards. Malik Neighbors, he was drafted 14th overall in our league this year. He'll be coming off an injury, so I could see him, falling down to the 3rd or 4th round next year.
Malik Neighbors. Well, I can still see him. He'll be ready for his training camp. He's still at like a first. He's either a late first, early second.
Brian Thomas is going to fall. Lamar Jackson is going to fall. I read a great article on Lamar this week that basically like the 3 years he was MVP, he's one of the greatest quarterback seasons of all time. But the other 4 years, he's like Kyler Murray.
Right. So, like,
Um,
my guy that's off the map is Lamar Jackson. So if you draft Lamar Jackson second round next year, like you're making a bad choice. There's just no way you're gonna draft Lamar Jackson second round.
yeah, there's no way. Like he's not on my do not draft list next year, but
No, but
I would
second
take him in
round,
like
no. Fourth
right. I would
round.
take him in like round 7 or like where
Oof.
Dak went this year.
Jesus. Dak area. I would think like fourth to fifth round at least. Like you said Dak. That's
Yeah,
QB2
Dak.
area.
Yeah. That's where Lamar is for me now. Like fifth round would be fine if I'm looking at the board like quarterback has just been annihilated. Like then I'd be fine taking Lamar there, but I'm not reaching for him the way I did this year. No way. Ty-
I would say who's that oh Tr- Trey McBride is a top 5 pick next year. Easy.
Ooh.
Easy top
Okay,
5.
he went 25th this year. Right after him was Tyreek Hill. He is going to be like an 8th rounder next year.
Right. But Trey McBride top 5 because in the last 2 years he's had over 200 catches, 210 catches. So I mean that he's almost guaranteed 100 catches. Puka has been drafted around like 12th pick. He's on top 3 at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because it's just
yeah.
what he could do. But Trey McBride's gonna take the biggest jump because that second round draft pick to like he's going to peak Kelsey area. Now he's peak Kelsey, where Travis Kelsey
Jaden
used to be
Daniels.
that. Oh, Jaden Daniels gonna fall off the map. Yeah,
Yeah, he was 32 this year. He's gonna fall. Lad McConkey's gonna fall.
yeah. All Chargers drops hard. You
Yeah,
know, you know what? Person, I think overall, I sat and thought about what player would probably made people, if you drafted him, you were really upset with him all year. And I thought about it. It's Kenneth Walker.
I was very underwhelmed this year. I didn't hate him because like he was still fine, but yeah, I thought I was getting like a RB 1.8. You know what I mean? And
Right,
he was barely an RB 3.
right. You know what I mean? That's where I'm like, you're expecting him to like split carries with Charbonnet, but he wasn't even splitting carries with Charbonnet. He would just like non-existent. Like at times, I mean, sometimes you'll have a 20 game. They had that one game where they both scored 20 points, but beyond that, I would not trust the Seattle running back room at all. It's just
Yeah,
that's
they're kind of a victim of their own success. Like they're very good reality backfield, not a good fantasy backfield.
right, and there's just no way I would trust that room at all. And so yeah, Kenneth Walker, if you draft him this year, I know you'd be upset. And that's I thought about it. I was like, he was healthy all year. Nobody gets hurt. He was healthy all year. So you expect him to get carries, and he didn't get anything going.
And then I fell into the trap of like benching him, and then he would do good. So then I'd plug him back in the lineup, and then he would stink. And then once you get in that like JMO cycle of trying to guess when the guy's going to do good, you're just going to end up slitting your own throat.
Yeah, because now your team is kind of held hostage about what's going on.
Oh, Travian Henderson is going to be a big target next year. He went in round
Yeah,
5. He could go in the
Trayvon
top 3
Henderson is
rounds.
he's kind of scary though because Richardson's getting a lot of carries right now. So they're really into the committee situation unless Henderson
Oh, Stevenson.
Stevenson leaves that team. I don't know. I don't know if I trust that. He has to get out of there to feel good about it. And was it Wilson for the Cardinals? Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Like we didn't really see him and Harrison on the field at the same time, so is Harrison going to break out? He's another guy who's going to fall. Marvin Harrison.
Yeah. He's gonna fall hard because you don't know what to do with it. Um
What's that called? A post hype sleeper.
oh yes. Post high sleeper, strong. DK Metcalf stocks drop hard. Um wouldn't trust that at all.
A Dunze.
Oh yeah. He's on milk cartons right now. Like what's happening with Roma Duche?
I got an interesting case. Like through the first, 6 weeks of the season, it looked like Egbuka was going to be a breakout candidate. But now next year, assuming Evans and Godwin are back, and the way Egbuka fell off in the second half, like where do you draft that guy now? Do you still think he's around the 6th round or later?
He would probably, if they're all healthy going the season, he could possibly slip later. If I'm Tampa's front office, I would trade McMillan. So I would trade McMillan so you at least you could still get a little more value out of Mike Evans and everything else because you have too many wide receivers there. It's just not it's too much going on. They need time to get a rhythm. Like you have too much riches at one position. You got to break it up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't really see too many other guys popping off. I'm in round 8 now of the draft, and I don't know. Brock Purdy's going to be a nice pick next year. The way his season has been finished, he
Well, I
won a
mean,
lot of.
Brock Purdy was a good pick this year, but he was injured.
Oh yeah, round 8. That would have been. You would have nailed that pick had he stayed healthy.
Right. He got injured, and he didn't pop off till now. That's when he popped off. Like if I would have kept him on my team, I would have like lost out. I know
Drafted.
Stroud would have. I drafted Brock Purdy, then I drafted Stroud after, and Stroud still hasn't really done well. I mean,
Nah.
he's been doing okay. It ain't.
Yeah. Drafted 2 picks after Purdy was Tyler Warren. I suspect he'll be like a top 3 tight end next year.
Yes, yeah. Tyler Warren very consistent. Tight end position is still a hard position to draft every year, and
Yeah.
it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse when Kelsey leaves because then you're really who's that person that's going to get the ball really. I
You
mean,
nail that
Kraft,
tight end pick though, and you have such an advantage every week. But he kind of
right?
hit a rookie wall, but he's still worth taking high, I think.
Kraft should be back next year, so that helps the room tight end area. But I would also be wary of what's the Green Bay Packers running back?
Jacobs.
Yeah, Jacobs might be hitting a certain wall. He might hitting that what's the wall that the Dallas Cowboy running back that used to be there he was Ohio State running back.
Are you thinking
Forgot
of
his
Eddie
name.
George?
Not Eddie George. No, he's on he used to be the guy Ezekiel
Oh,
Elliott.
Ezekiel. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. I'm wondering if you'll run into the Ezekiel Elliott wall where it's just you have so many carries. He has so many carries in college, so many carries in Las Vegas, so many carries now in Green Bay now. It's like you got to start slowing down eventually. You're not Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? Derrick Henry is an enigma, not the standard, not the normal at all. A guy who Derrick Henry will be drafted top 4 rounds next year.
Oh, easy. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Um,
Easy.
Elliott's another guy we've missed for the Hall of Fame. There's still plenty of guys out there.
I think Elliott be a nice. He could get in there late. Yeah, he'd be fine.
Looking here, I've been around 13. There's just a lot of sad names out here now. But yeah, you have any other looming fantasy questions? Like, who's on your do not draft list going into next year?
I think anybody like Tyreek Hill, no matter how attractive the name looks, I don't know.
I'm officially removing McCaffrey from my do not draft list after this year. Like
Okay,
he's draftable for me now.
yeah, McCaffrey will be another first round draft pick next year. Um, I think Tyreek Hill, unless Tyreek Hill's going to the Chiefs next year, I don't want him. Unless he's teamed up with Mahomes again for some late season magic, I don't want no part of it.
Both of them are
Rasheed,
coming off bad knee injuries. So that could just be like the saddest reunion you've ever seen.
right, and unless the Chiefs upgrade their quarterback room, there's no way I'm going to draft Rasheed Rice next year. No, even if he's there, I won't. Um, Zay Flowers might be kind of scary to draft if the Ravens don't figure out their quarterback position for me, no matter how good he is this year.
I saw one writer throw out there the Ravens should trade Lamar, get your 3 first round picks for him, and then sign Malik Willis as a free agent.
Christ. 3 first round draft picks. Anybody who does that is just absolute like that GM deserves to be fired. You do straight up. You do the same thing. The GM that traded.
This is
Um,
me calling the Browns. Hey, you want Lamar?
golly.
You know they'll do it. They can't help themselves.
Oh my God.
Pittsburgh, they're going to need to replace Aaron Rodgers.
No, not 3 first round draft pick. It'd be like because he's Lamar's got to be 30 now. So it feels like it had to be like it would be first. Two would be 2 first. There'd be no way 3. 3 is ridiculous. Two first,
I,
2 of them, and then you let Lamar go on like a vent, and he'll probably give you one great year, and then it's going to
mm-hmm.
turn kind of sad again.
Yeah, I was going to say both those I threw out there were in division, but then again, the Eagles traded McNabb within division to Washington, so it's not out of the
Yeah,
realm of possibility.
they fleeced
They
them
did
though.
fleece him, but that's the thing. If you think that guy is cooked and you think you can sell your division opponent a bag of goods,
Nah, Lamar is different. Lamar is way different than Fat
you want to
Nap.
think so, but when he falls, it is a tough fall. Like Tyler Huntley outplayed him this past week.
Yeah, but I've been calling this for weeks. I said if Lamar Jackson here comes back early and he's playing like not because he's still injured and he's still trying to just play instead of just running Tyler Huntley, who is a Pro Bowl player. You know what I mean? They play themselves. Like they should have never been in a position that they're in right now if they would have kept running Tyler Huntley. Tyler Huntley didn't play bad. That's why
You
Derrick
know,
Henry's able to throw the ball because Tyler Huntley does give you the threat of throwing the ball and running.
and Huntley has succeeded in Baltimore where he hasn't anywhere else. He's bounced
Right.
around a little bit outside of Baltimore, and they always move on. But in Baltimore, they play him, and he wins games. He should have
And he's
won
a
that
Pro Bowl
playoff game
player.
that one year. Remember, he got stuffed at the goal line in Cincinnati?
Yes. He's a Pro Bowl player. It was like he went to the Pro Bowl. So I mean, like it's not like you. He's the only backup in the league that's a Pro Bowl player. Like you got to put respect on his name. next to Jameis Winston, the GOAT. You know what I mean? Like we must do the GOAT, Jameis Winston.
The goat. You got anything else? I think we're done.
Like, I think we're done. It's sad. I didn't want it to end. It's like it's end
Yeah,
now.
it
That's
is
it. You know.
sad. It is sad. I really enjoy doing these. It bums me out thinking we're not going to, make another podcast episode until August uh, with the draft lottery. I finished in dead last, by the way, so I have the best lottery odds.
You're dead last for real.
Yeah. Yeah, let me pull this up. We'll give a draft lottery preview here, I
You
guess.
you are dead last. Jesus.
Heater is behind me, so he'll have, 13 ping pong balls.
At 7-7, at 7-7. Okay, think how that works. Okay, like you're 5-9, he's 7-7. Then Mark's 5-9. Then it's me. I'm 5-9.
Yeah, Heater tanked in the loser bracket, basically.
Yeah, Heater said I'm going for the top draft. Heater had second pick overall this year.
No, he
Didn't
didn't.
he?
He
Had a top 3 pick.
he had like fourth or something. He took Gibbs. He had fifth.
Gibbs an insane draft pick. Montgomery, I would not draft next year. Oh no.
Yeah, avoid at all costs. So
Crazy.
the ping pong ball will be the ping pong
Ping
balls
pong.
will ping pong balls. I'll have 14. Heater will have 13. Jones will have 12. You'll have 11. Art will have 10. Freeman will have 9. DeMoss 8. Hines 7. Lionheart 6. Spawn 5. Jordan 4. Will 3. Brandon 2. Slade earned his 1 ping pong ball he'll get next year. Congrats to you. Thanks for listening, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I'll see you on 26.